This guy's
Yes.
20 years old.
Yes.
20.
Yeah.
We found out today, yesterday we had the producer of Chico and the Man, and he said that
Jimmy.
you signed the contract, and he didn't realize when he heard, like
wasn't
when he
legal.
met you, you were 19, and they said, the contract's not legal, he's a minor, he can't sign a contract.
Yeah.
You
We
got him where
squared
you
that
want
all-
him, pal.
No, I squared that all away with them.
Introduce your
This
good
next
friend.
gentleman, he's been on TV before a couple of times. You may have seen him. A very funny young man. He's a good friend of mine, and he's also only 20. And I think he's probably one of the funniest new guys around today. Would you welcome my good friend and roommate, Alan Bursky?
Thank you. Where'd all the people come from? I thought this is all Philadelphia here. I've been looking for people in the hotel, the streets, couldn't find anybody. Anyway, thank you very much. This is my first time in Philly, so Philadelphia, Philly. So it's a big surprise. Anyway, before I really get into the stuff I want to lay on you tonight, there's a few things I'd like to clear up, starting with my face. Thank you. I don't mean that. That's just a technique I use to let you people know that I'm aware that I'm kind of young to be doing this sort of thing. In fact, the thing that people comment on the most after they've seen me perform, aside from the lack of humor among young people, is my age. I'm 20 years old. Any of you remember being 20? Any of you remember being 35? Any of you sure why you came here tonight? Checking everybody out. See, I know why I'm here, because I wanted to change. Up until this evening, I was employed as a lawn ornament for Wilt Chamberlain's home. Nice. Another thing you might be interested, I was just accepted into college on a basketball scholarship. Of course, it is an all-Japanese school. Have you ever seen the Japanese play basketball? Well, forget it, you won't. Because their biggest play is a scientifically structured sneak attack. They usually score 30 to 40 points before the other team gets out on the floor. No, I don't mean that. That's just another technique I use to let you people know that I'm aware that I'm not tall. In fact, I am what sociologists describe as upper middle short. I always knew I was going to be short. I did. I knew it in high school when I got a part in the school play as a troll. The director kept telling me to straighten up. I was born and raised, and I went to school in New York City. And the schools there are really different. For instance, the kids are trained to make up ethnic slurs. I mean, we all know the racial myths about the Jews, the blacks, and the Puerto Ricans. And we all know it was the Germans who invaded Poland. But how many of you knew it was the Yugoslavians that shot and ate Bambi? It's a strong indication that things have gone bad in New York when you read that Mayor Beam has renamed Broadway to the Valley of the Shadow of Death. So my mother and father decided to pull up stakes, starting with the one Jose and Manuel had driven through my left leg. And we moved. We moved all the way out to California. And when you get out there, you run into problems like where you're going to live. See, my mother, she wanted to move to Beverly Hills because of the schools and the plastic surgery. My father didn't. My father wanted to move to Santa Monica, which is a little town right on the beach. Now, see, my father loves the beach. He finds it very romantic. Because my father met my mother on the beach. How it happened was, late at night, he was walking along the beach, looking for returnable bottles. And he found my mother in the sand where her family had buried her. I can't stand the beach. I don't relate to it. That's the problem. And I tried, I did. I went out and I bought one of those tight-fitting bathing suits like the bodybuilders wear. You know the kind. They make the guy look like he's trying to smuggle a bunch of grapes into the country. He's making me laugh. And I bought it, and I wore it, and I thought, well, at least it would get some kind of reaction from the girls. Let me tell you, do you know how difficult it is to accept indifference as an emotional response? I was really glad when we didn't move to the beach. We moved to Encino, which is a little town in the San Fernando Valley. Now, you don't have to be from the valley to know about the valley, because every city in America has a suburb that's as bad as the valley. You know, just moved into an apartment building. You know, real classy name. It was called Gomorrah Heights. You know, it's just great place. I mean, great if you happen to be a World War II veteran and barrack living has become your way of life. And one thing I didn't mind about it was like a terrific amount of old people lived there. Now, I'm not knocking old people. I'm not. In fact, we need old people. We do, because without them, who would feed the pigeons? I'm not talking about old people. I'm talking about heavies, 90, 95, like, and they had activities, social clubs there, and they played games. One game they played was hide and go stiff. We even had a sweet old lady for an apartment manager, Lily of the Valley. She was old. She was suffering from hardening of the roots. Where I lived, a very popular thing in San Fernando Valley, drive-in movies. In my neighborhood, 11 drive-in movies, all on the same block. They don't have any screens. They just project the film right on the smog. If you're ever in L.A., smog has really gotten terrible. I mean, smog has gotten to the point where the wind has asthma. Like, drive-in movies, taco stands, very big in Southern California. And I know why, because California used to be part of Mexico, so there's still a lot of Mexican influence in the state. That's why everywhere you go, everything has a Spanish design to it. In fact, Californians insist that everything around them be Mexican, except for their immediate neighbors. Thank you very much.
There you go.
Very nice.
He was making me laugh.
You're making me laugh.
Were you guys really roommates?
When I first moved out to L.A., my little partner.
Yeah, we were for off and on for a year, because we were always traveling and everything, and yeah, we were. He just moved out a couple months ago.
What was he like
Uh-oh.
to live with? Any bad habits?
He's a slob. I'm sorry, America. Freddie Prinze is a slob.
And you're like,
Well, he's Felix Unger Jr. He's a neatness nut. I drop an ash from a cigarette, and he goes get the sponge.
I used to follow him around with an ashtray and a sponge, but, you know. I'm a little fastidious. I mean, I iron my underwear.
that is fastidious.
No, but he would he eats pizza without any plates right on the tables. He just drops wherever he wants to drop it. It's fine with him, but...
Paper napkin or something.
No, you want to know what's really most annoying thing about him is he talks in his sleep. I mean, he doesn't... I'll take that back. He doesn't talk in his sleep. He screams. I swear to God, he does his routines. It was 4 o'clock in the morning, the first time he slept over, and all of a sudden I thought somebody was in my room yelling at me. And I get up, and I'm listening, and I hear, "I killed them in Miami."
He did that and he said that in his sleep?
Yeah, he's asleep. I get up, I thought maybe he's talking to somebody on the phone. It's 4 in the morning. I turn on my light. I go out in the living room. The couch opens up, everything. That's where he likes to stay. And he's in his sleep. I murdered the people. And I'm looking right in his face, and he's sound asleep. And then I wake him up, and he's going, "Hey, leave me alone. I'm sleeping, And like another thing, he does this. He does his routines. He does impressions in his sleep.
Impressions of what?
He does Groucho. He does Bogart. I hear it. If you're the federale, show us your badges. And he's sound asleep.
Do you do Groucho, really? For real? Groucho and Humphrey Bogart?
Well, a couple of times I've been known to do them, yes. No, one night was, I think the funny story I did was, I was doing Bogart in my sleep. And I know because, is it all right if Mid-America knows that one time I was in the same room with a girl?
Sure.
Okay. No, I was sleeping there. My old lady was laying next to me, and all. She was laying up there next to me, and she said, I got up in the middle of my sleep, and I stood up to my wife and said, "Thank you!" Like I was trying to, but one night I said, one night I was there with Alan, and Alan's in his room, And all of a sudden he hears me, so he comes out. He's getting his tape recorder ready so he can blackmail me.
I try and
Did you record him when he talked in his sleep?
Yeah, I have bits and pieces of it because, like, by the time he starts talking, it doesn't last really long, like a minute, 2 minutes. Every time I hear him, I run to the drawer, I get the tape recorder, I plug it in and everything and set up, and then he starts in Spanish, and I don't know what he's saying. I go to the dictionary. I studied in school. I have English, Spanish dictionary. What is he saying? I don't know. What is you know.
One time I said, we've got to shut up the girl.
Yeah,
And then he goes,
this is true. I hear him say,
we've got to shut up the girl, I said.
bribe her so she doesn't talk.
Right.
And this is the first time, like, I ever spoke back to him. I said, what happens if she doesn't take the money? He goes, kill her.
Now, yesterday, Jimmy Walker, you and Jimmy Walker were talking. You said you're a very sound sleeper. In fact, Jimmy Comack said that.
Oh.
Like he couldn't wake you in the morning. So, I mean...
I once, he would have calls, like, to get to the studio or things like that. So I can get up at the drop of a notice. I can even go without sleep.
At the drop of a notice?
I mean, drop, bang, I'm up. It doesn't matter, right? I can
Usually I used to hit him with a baseball bat to wake him, Alan!
No. He says, wake me up at 9 o'clock. Fine, I set my alarm for,
Now you must realize I'm a zombie at 9, okay?
9 o'clock, I said it, I get up. Okay, I go, Freddie, get up. Come on, Freddie, come on, you gotta be at the studio. Jimmy's waiting, it's this producer, Jimmy. Everybody, come on. So I take the covers off of him, I push him, I throw him on the floor, I drag him on the bed, boom. I step on him, I kick him, everything. I threw water on him.
I loved it.
We'll be right back. Tell the audience what you told me, what he's been saying to you all day long. Knowing you're coming
I'm
on.
doing a show with Fred, right? And he, good friends, and so he keeps telling me, he's been doing this to me for a week now, and all day today, right? Just before he walked out, he goes, if you bomb today, it's all over. Don't call me, don't talk, I don't want to be seen with you.
Oh, is that? That's
All day.
terrible, Fred.
So I
That's
said,
pressure. Put the kid under pressure. Get him ready.
I keep saying, come on, Fred, knock it off. He goes, nah, I'm being like, rough audience. I didn't get a laugh all yesterday. I walked out, but no, see, are you talking to me?
Yes.
Thank you.
That's a terrible thing. Where'd you learn that? That's
David
awful.
Brenner did that to me one time. He said, I'll go check out the audience for you. We were taping the special somewhere. And he went out, looks at it, he says, they're all over 90, you're in trouble. So, you pass it on to the other comics.
Remember, years ago, you guys would know this, but when we used to play theater,